couple of things.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We have, you know, we're thankful for this opportunity, and you know, we commend you for coming. And I think that part of that introduction, what I think we all want to make clear is that this particular community, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, can no longer take anything for granted in this community. That's pretty much the basis. And so somewhere along the line, and you know, I can tell you that I don't know the inner workings of the political realm in Nassau County. All I do know is how to serve community, and as an observer, I can tell you that there is something extremely wrong in our communities, and that's where we all can agree. So the Democratic Party, and one of the reasons why, you know, we sort of, you know, Fred allowed you to sort of introduce whatever the agenda would be, is hearing what lessons have you learned, because, you know, what we can tell you extremely clear is the fact that regardless of what the system is and how many chairs you have, the influence in our community is in this room and has come into this room, and you know, and we will continue to organize and mobilize. So the question sort of becomes, what have you learned? And most importantly, besides because you know, there's too many folks here and there's too much history to sort of parse this out. The question becomes, what did the Democratic Party learn from the last go round? And most importantly, what do you plan to do differently? Like what is the agenda?
But before we do that, Raisley had some stuff on the floor that I need to hear a response from.
Yes.
Right.
And I can't, if you're here, and she has history, I haven't been here as long as Robin has. I need to hear the response. I want to know about the middle class. I want to know what we're going to do. I just need to hear the response from what she said.
Okay, and I'm going to respond. First of all,
somebody get Robin a glass of water, please.
I didn't need to come here. I didn't need to come here to learn about the frustration in this community. And I didn't need to come here tonight to learn that there's upset and disappointment and that people are waiting far too long for progress. I know that. And I knew it when I started. I will say I take issue with what you had to say. I take issue not just with the facts of what you said, but how you articulated the record, and I think it's inaccurate.
Like what?
I will go through it.
Okay.
Okay? You had your moment, and I'm going to have mine. I'm going to tell you a couple of things that I believe. I know what you believe. And I'm not even going to fault you for how you believe it. I just am going to tell you we come at things a little differently. First of all, I don't see the corridor or Hempstead, I never have seen it, as a dumping ground or a colony or anything else. I've seen it as a potential for a vibrant community that I have been fighting for. Now let's get the magic out of this, all right? I'm the Nassau County Democratic Chairman. I don't control all. I have nothing to do with whether the property values have gone up or gone down. What I have to do with, and what you can fault me for, is I have worked to elect a certain number of people who are in office currently to their positions. If you have a disagreement with some of the people who represent you, be it Dorothy, or Earlene, or Carrier, or Cavan, or what was Robert Troiano, and whoever will be that replaces him, Carolyn McCarthy, I have something to do with, not grand, I would say. Certainly not your state senator, he's Republican. That's what I have some responsibility for.
And Tom Swazi.
And Tom Swazi when Tom was in.
And
yes.
Wayne Hall.
And Wayne Hall. And Andrew Hardwick.
First time. Was in.
First time.
Yeah.
Second time.
And those of you have criticisms and you voice them, they may be legitimate to some degree. Some degree may not. We can argue the facts of them. I don't know that we need to do that person by person. But I want to, for starters, let everybody know that the other part of my job, I'm a member of the Democratic National Committee, and I go to Washington, and I work with, and I was the state chair, and I worked with the governor's team. I was appointed or recommended for my position by David Patterson, and I served complete to the end of his term and the beginning of Andrew Cuomo's term for a little more than a year of his term. And there, and in those environs, is where I get to articulate and advocate for what I believe is important, and I believe I did so well. And you can have a different chair, and a different chair will have his view, and that is certainly coming at some point. I don't stay forever. Frankly, I will tell you that my part of this and what I believe I have to complete and do coincides, in my view, with very much what you're trying to advocate for. And this is the difficulty. This is the difficulty. And Ali, I respect you. I have certain disagreements with some of the things the way you characterize them, from what my recollection was. And I don't want to go through a point by point with you because I'm really at a disadvantage. Because I'm not going to stand here and have my view of what things were to your detriment. It's not fair. It's not fair to you, and it's not right. And frankly, what I will say in each of the cases is, as we have had committees, whether this group and individuals in this group have known about them and participated in them is a different matter. But again, I have a search committee every time there is a vacancy in this community and other communities, by the way. It's not just this community. We do have a community of members of the Democratic Party. I think you raised the question: are they the right people? Are they people who are connected to the community? I am led to believe so. Okay. Again, there are different facets of the community. It's complicated. We try.
It depends on what portion of the community that you're referring to. And the ones that are most affected are the ones that the relationship does not